What's up, Brass Facts here. So about a year and a half ago, ECC reached out to me and wanted me to try out their new gloves, and I said, yeah, no, I'm not really a glove guy. I'd rather take extreme bodily harm than deal with wearing gloves. They insisted that I would like these, so screw it, I'll take your free gloves. I'm not doing a video though. I don't think I've gotten more questions about a product than this pair of gloves. It's so intense that as of writing this video, on the gloves release, a Reddit post asking what glove I'm wearing and all the subset posts on Reddit have better search engine optimization than the actual page that sells these. So alright, fine. I'll talk about the damn gloves. We need to open with the elephant in the room because everything I say from here on out needs to be in contrast with this. These things cost $120. Yeah. Material-wise and labor-wise, I have no doubt that these are worth $120. We've seen leather gloves like this before. The First Spear Operator ones go for about $80, but they're a 5-size fit all thing and use inferior materials. There are a couple cheaper ones on top of that, but most of those are actually just fake leather, maybe 3-size fits all, whatever. The ECC gloves come with premium kangaroo leather, I'm sure some other exotic materials that you can read on the website. I don't know, I just wear the things. And on top of that, they are sized for you, as in you hand in measurements and then they are like, okay, what's up? We'll build a glove to that spec. So they're kind of custom, sort of. As weird as it is to say, $120 is probably the correct rough pricing model for these things. Sure, whatever. The bigger discussion point here, I think, is this worth spending money on? There are plenty of stupidly expensive things on the market that are justifiably priced to be produced at that amount, but it doesn't mean they're remotely worth buying. So, are these worth buying? I don't know. I'll rattle off my thoughts on the design aspects and how they compete with other gloves and how they held up over a year, and then you be the judge. I think a big selling point of these things are the heat resistance and the flame retardation. It's, literally in the name. They have a picture of a dude pulling off cans with these things smoking hot. You got smoke piling off. It looks amazing, but no, I don't buy it. In theory, in very small temperature ranges where you won't graft this to your hand, but you still need gloves, these will hold up better than your synthetic $15 gloves when they melt your skin and leave a hand shape imprint on your can and a glove shape imprint on your skin. But in practice, it doesn't matter if you're wearing Superman spandex or Goku's pants or these ECC gloves. The material might hold up, but your hands certainly won't. You're not removing suppressors with these form-fitted gloves. So for me personally, the benefits are found elsewhere. So let's talk about durability. I had these for about a year and a half, and I've subjected them to the standard Brass Facts experience, which apparently is fairly harsh because my gloves look like complete shriveled dull scrotum compared to all the other content creator ones, which all still have that nice orange sheen to it. And they're doing fairly well. The right hand, which I'm sort of right-handed, by the way, has more wear than the left hand, small breakdown on the leather, on the fingertips, some heat damage, lots of small cuts here or there, but overall, it's still trucking. I got an easy year left in it, probably 2. That being said, if we just talk about durability, which a lot of people have, you can buy mechanics gloves for $15. So no matter how durable these gloves are, they're not going to compete the durability of 9 mechanics gloves. Thus, the real magic with these are the form-fitting nature combined with the material choice. Remember, they fit these to your hands and thus are extremely tight fit. I fucking hate gloves. I'd rather have chewed up, obliterated hands than wear gloves. I've tried to amend this previously by buying tactical purpose-built gloves that maintain your dexterity, like the SKT Pig Pressburg edition, at about $50. Which, by the way, these are not terrible choices if you want gloves that are form-fitting but don't, cost, $120. But it's mostly synthetic, so that comes with several issues, chief among which is that they turn into sponges in the winter and become useless really quickly and get fully saturated with liquid. And unlike other glove materials, they tend to just stay wet at that point, and you need to put them or bring them home to fully dry them out. Otherwise, they're just going to be a sloggy mess for the rest of the trip. I have my fleet of, mechanics type gloves, and they do fine when I really, really need gloves, which is mostly for not shooting things, but they all suffer from much of the same issue, and they also fit like shit. And then there's these guys, very similar in function and feel to the Pigs, but somehow even more form-fitting with a far more superior material. And they do, yes, offer some heat protection on very hot guns and resistance against sharp rocks. Both are form-fitting enough that I can fit them under heavy winter gloves, which is something I do, in fact, care about. So back to that question, $120? No, not for most people. Despite these being amazeballs gloves, most people are not militantly anti-glove and can just wear $15 gas station gloves and be okay with it. This appeals to, Well, actually, I think about 50% of it appeals to Second Amendment male fashionistas because these do look really good. But from a usability standpoint, this appeals to the power user that both hates traditional gloves and spends a lot of time shooting and begrudgingly has to wear gloves. And these do that fairly well. No one ever condemned anyone for buying high quality sets of boots, clothes, socks, rucks, or whatever, and I think this falls exactly into that camp for a certain subset of people. I'll leave you with this. I think the proof is on the wear on these guys. I don't really want to wear gloves. Look at these pigs. I spent a lot of money on these over 5 years ago now, I think. Do they look particularly heavily used to you? Yeah. Now look at these gloves. I didn't plan on doing any content on this. I had no obligation of actually wearing these things. They look pretty damn used, don't they? As a chronic glove hater, I think that tells the whole story, doesn't it?